beforehand. Oh well. My fault, by the way. I take full credit for that. All right, then we got 23 here.
Okay.
All right. What's the theory question? Okay, determine if this is binomial or not. A hockey player makes 20% of her shots, is asked to take shots until she misses. The number of shots attempted is recorded. Okay, that's not binomial. In order for it to be binomial, there has to be a fixed number of trials. So they have to come right out and say, she shot 20 times. There has to be a defined success and failure. So in this case, she makes it or she doesn't. So that's okay. But we don't have a fixed number of trials. So already it's not, oh, there we go. It's letter C. It's not, just right there. Fixed number of trials comes out, says it right there. All right, and then last one for Jessica, at least. Let's see. Make that bigger. All right. According to the almanac, 80% of adult smokers started smoking before 18. Compute the mean and standard deviation of the random variable. The number of smokers who started 200 trials. Okay. This is about the first time I'm going to go get the formula chart for the test. I haven't felt like we've needed it yet. Maybe it's just me. Okay. So we are in the discrete one. So right there. Okay, so let me take a picture of that, and I'll put that with the question. Okay, so this is, we've got a set number of probability of success, so we're told it's 0.8. So we got to clearly define that. They told us that there's 200 trials, so there's clearly a fixed number. So we are staring right at a binomial variable. So we're staring at this guy right here, which means the mean is to take the n times the p. So of the 200 times the 0.8, and that's where we get the 160. And then as far as the standard deviation goes, formula says to take the square root of np times 1 minus p. So let's see, so square root of n times p times 1 minus p. So if p is p is 0.8, then 1 minus p would be 0.2. And that ends up to be the 5.65, so 5.7 rounded up to the nearest tenth. Okay, what's the correct interpretation of this? Well, out of 200 adults, we'd expect about 160 to be smoking. That's what that means. Would it be unusual to observe 180 smokers who started smoking before 18 in a random sample of 200? Well, let's see. So it kind of goes back to the what percent do we find unusual? So if I'm staring at 180, well, my mean is 160. So how many standard deviations above that would 180 be? So if I take 160 and I just add on to the 5.7, So that's 165 is one standard deviation above. So let me go another standard deviation above. That puts me at 171. And so 2 standard deviations above the mean, I would already consider very unusual. And the fact that I can add one more standard deviation, so 180 is 3 standard deviations beyond what I would expect to see. So that definitely is a very unusual number to find out in the real world. So the correct answer there is yes, and the rationale is that 180 is bigger than, and that's just symbolically saying 2 standard deviations above the mean. And I actually get that it's 3, or even more than 3, which if you think back to the normal curve, you're looking at less than 1% of your data. Anyways, so hopefully that helped. We kind of go back. Deidre's been very patient.
Actually, I've been watching. I did try to send you one message because when you were working on, I think that was 16 with
Okay.
the probabilities. I kind of got lost there for a minute when you were doing the flowers.
Okay, I can backtrack to 16. Yeah, unfortunately, the way this program works, if you type something, until I go back to this screen, I don't know it.
Oh.
I don't like, but I can see that there's a question now, and so I just turn to you and go, hey, what question? So you said 16, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go back to 16 here. This guy. Okay, one of our deck of card questions.
Oh, no. Okay, then it must be 15.
15?
It's the one where you were doing the flowers, the 14 and the 30, the 31. But they took one flower and then one yellow, one red. I was like, what the heck?
Oh, the tulip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let me blow that up again. All right. Which you want me to just go through all 4 of them real quick, or?
Okay. I know you have already, and I looked at it, but yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay.
The main one is D, though. That's the main one.
The D. Okay. So do you see how in B and C they tell you the first bulb is?
Yes.
Okay, and in D they took that word away. So that's why D is weird. Is that they didn't tell me which one happened first. So what I have to do is I have to think about the 2 scenarios that could happen. I could pull a red one, then a yellow one, or I could pull a yellow, then a red. So because of that verb, because of the word or, red, yellow, or yellow, red, that means I'm adding 2 different scenarios together. So if we start with, what happens if I get the red one first? Well, there are 14 red, and there are 31 total, so 14 out of 31. And then the likelihood that I got a yellow one, there's 8 yellow, but now I don't have 31 anymore, I have 30, right? Okay. But that scenario is if I got the red first and then the yellow, I want to flip the order and think, well, what if I got the yellow first and then the red? Well, if I got the yellow first, that's 8 out of 31. And then if I got the red one, that would be 14 out of 30. And then hit enter, and ta-da, that's where we get the magic number. But notice, when they take the word first away, so A, B, and C being different, we didn't have to add an A, B, and C. We're just able to multiply and get it over with. But it's when they took that word first away, meant they didn't tell me which one happened first, so I got to look at any possible way that could pull them out.
And we're supposed to automatically know that we're to do both scenarios and apply them together.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the theory being you would have homework, yeah, you would have noticed that.
Okay.
So.
Oh, all right.
Anything else you want me to look at?
Yeah, I couldn't, when you were doing the one where you created a fracture, I was trying to watch that one, because I know every time Jessica said anything, my screen would go black.
Right. I mean, Jessica's noticing the same thing now on your part. So it's, again, one of those things that when you talk, then it just takes over the screen. But that's fine. I can say it's fine because I'm the teacher. But any calculator skill you want to look at, or?
Yes, I want to how to do the fracture. The fraction. I think I've gotten. I know how to do the scatter, but I don't know how to put the line in. So no.
Oh, how to get the LSRL to show up? How to get? Let's see if I can get a scatter plot question up here.
I think like the first one or two. Yeah.
Yeah, here's a good one. Okay, so I'm going to go to my stat edit and go to my list 1, list 2. And 27 points. So I'm just going to input the data in. One part I wish was more exciting. It's not that exciting to watch me put numbers in. Okay, then I'm going to go over to list 2 and put those numbers in. Uh, 17.2, right? Okay, so from here, so I got my list 1, list 2 in. So I'm going to calculate my LSRL. So I'm going to go to stat, calc, and do linear regression. Now, depending upon the type of calculator you have, you might be able to tell it from here, but I want it to remember that a line. Let me switch that to 1. Oh man, it's going to be a pain. I don't know if I can get my calculator to do this now. All right, so all right, hold on. It's going to be annoying. It's one of the things I don't like about this calculator. All right, get away with that. Okay. Well, in theory, you'd go here, and you would just make sure that frequency list says 1. My computer doesn't like me right now. And then to store the regression equation, you just go to vars, arrow over to yvars, and just tell it to remember what y1 is. Let's see, let me do it. You're gonna throw me grief. No, it's going to be annoying. Okay, anyway, so in theory, if you get that to work, anyways, then it will draw the line in for you, although I think in going through the practice test, I didn't see a single question where I needed the line. And I take that back. I do remember one question where the line would have been somewhat helpful. But I do need to get the scatter plot. So to get the scatter plot, I go to stat plot, so second y equals, make sure my plot's on, make sure that first icon is selected. That's where we get the scatter plot from. And then make sure it says list 1, list 2. And then from here, I want to go zoom 9, which is zoom stat. And it will draw me the picture. Yay!
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You get it?
Yes.
Okay. That's I mean, most of the time, your calculator should be able to do something for the question. Most of the time.
Yeah, just figuring out when to do what.
Right. When to get that to show up. So, anything else you want me to look at?
I guess that's it, because I still have to complete my review. I'm sure my time ran out on mine. I had just really started on it. I guess I'll probably, at worst case, will have to email because I thought this was being recorded.
Oh, I got 20 minutes in. I got 20 minutes recorded.
Okay. That's the very last one.
Oh, right. We got the important ones right at the end, right? No. If you do find you need more help, you're always welcome to email me, and that's like an ongoing, like, y'all have no idea how spoiled I am right now. This class is hard, and y'all don't email me nothing. So,
Well, I spend a lot of time at the school. I go to the library until they kick me out, and then I go upstairs to the little lab they have until they kick me out.
Okay. So as long as you're getting help, that's fine. It's just I like stats, and I wish I had more questions, but I appreciate coming home going, oh, got nothing to do today. All right, guess I'll go play with my kids or something.
Are you ever at the school?
I am an adjunct instructor, so I don't have an office, and I don't even I don't actually have a mailbox. I'm actually out of Greens Point Center, so
That's the one I go to.
that's the one you go to. But I will tell you, there's a fabulous math instructor, also by the name of Soleil, that you can always go
I
by.
had her.
Yes,
That's how I got to know you.
There we go. So, and actually, if you go ask her, she'll probably say, "Go ask my husband." She doesn't teach stats that much, but anyways.
Yeah, she doesn't like stats very much. She likes real numbers.
Oh yeah, don't get her started because she thinks this is fuzzy math, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's fun. Anyway, so if you have any more questions, you can feel free to email me. Anyways, so good luck, Deidre, and just do the practice test a couple times, and you should do just fine.
I'm gonna do my best. Oh my God, I'm gonna do my best.
There we go. Jessica, do you have any more questions or?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay. Same for you. You need any help? Just email me. You're actually pretty good about that, so.
Okay.
Good luck. All right, y'all have a good night now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.